Hey guys, welcome to Trucks and Tractors. Today, Gage and I are headed on a little trip and we are going to finish converting this half-ton into a 3/4 ton. A lot of you had some good suggestions. You all asked what I was doing with the suspension and the framing. Stay tuned to find out. I got the coolest thing ever the other day. This is a custom sign made by a company called Charred Chisels. This is awesome. So what it is, obviously it's our logo, but it's, so my background is machining and manufacturing, so this totally hits me good. So this is charred wood, and then they CNC machined it. It's super awesome. Thank you very much, Charred Chisels. Go check them. I'm gonna link their website and their Instagram below. Go check them out. If you have a desire for a sign like this, they do all kinds of different sizes. Check them out. All right, so Gage and I spent all day with this company and what we were doing with the truck. What we did was we ended up putting a straight axle under the truck. We put heavy duty 3/4 ton leaf springs under it. We upgraded the brakes. All the suspension has been improved. What else did we do? What?
Rear end.
Oh yeah, the rear end, Dawn's right here. You guys are gonna think we're crazy with what we did, but this thing doesn't even look like the same truck. I'm telling you, like, it's wild what we did with this thing. I'm gonna show it to you, but I'm trying as hard as I can not to get out of the way because it's fantastic. A lot of you are thinking there's no way he turned a half-ton into a 3/4 ton. And if he did, what kind of idiot spends the time and money modifying a half-ton when you could just go buy a 3/4 ton? Well, I agree with you. That's actually exactly what we did. I introduce you my new to me 2011 F250 Super Duty 4-wheel drive gas. A lot of you have just clicked off the video, but if you're still here, let me go down the road like this. I have had 50 some vehicles, most of them trucks, and 5 GM pickups, so Silverados or Sierras, half-tons. Out of 5 GM trucks, I have put 5 transmissions into those said trucks. Every one of them had the transmission go out. 100% of those trucks needed transmissions. And a lot of you are gonna tell me in the comments below that maybe I was running them too hard. But you know what? I would say I have had more than that in F-150s. I have had, this would be my 5th Super Duty. I've had F-250s and 350s. This is the 5th Super Duty, but out of 9 F-150s I've had, I have put 0 transmissions in. I did 1 engine, but I knew when I bought that truck that it needed an engine. Otherwise, that's it. Like, I've done like suspension and brakes and stuff like that, but you do that in anything used. I have done 0 transmissions. In all the Super Duties I've had, this is my 5th Super Duty. 2 were V10s, 2 were diesels. A lot of you may think this is dumb to buy a gas truck, but I don't pull all the time. We live in a climate that gets very cold in the wintertime, and diesels, for how much I would use them, doesn't make sense. Like, in my opinion. You could tell me I'm wrong, but in my opinion, it doesn't make sense. The 6.2 V8 for the Ford, it's a fantastic motor. The 6.2 is better than the V10. The V10 had issues where it would shoot spark plugs out of the cylinders, or it would start having like valve ticking noises. I've had all that. I've heard of it and I've experienced it. The 6.2 is a bulletproof motor. and I did say it's a bulletproof motor. You tell me I'm wrong, but it's a bulletproof motor. The transmission on this truck is also very stout. I'm ecstatic that we got this truck. We are planning on doing a lot more camping, and so for
Wait a second. What was that? You said we're doing more camping?
I'm sorry. Dawn is planning on doing a lot more camping, and she needs a truck that won't break down on her. So the issue that we had with the Sierra, granted the Sierra was a beautiful pickup, except for like strength, is a half ton. We looked at going to a 3/4 ton Chevy, and if I didn't go diesel, it's the exact same transmission. The transmission shop that rebuilt the transmission in my half ton told me that the transmission in the 3/4 ton GMC and Sierras gas is the exact same transmission that is in the half ton I had. So I think, yeah, it's just gearing. It's gears that are different. But I think, you know what? I'm sorry, General Motors. We're gonna go our separate ways here, okay? This truck will tow the camper very well. The other thing with the GMC, what happened was when we were taking like big curves with the camper, like you're going on the freeway, you're taking big curves or going in and out of mountains, the camper, even though it's a fairly light camper, really pushes the body of that truck around and makes cornering very uncomfortable when you have a whole family inside it. So cornering was uncomfortable. I wasn't really concerned with brakes because the camper has really good trailer brakes. Both trucks had a towing package that have trailer brakes in it, controller. So we just set the brakes a little harder on the trailer than the truck, and the brakes weren't an issue. It was suspension. You really get bouncing with the camper and the half ton. In a 3/4 ton, we're not going to have that. It's just going to be more stable and rigid overall. The other thing is, GM, why do you keep cutting cylinders on engines? So from a mechanical standpoint, I'm just gonna go back to Old Glory, which is just naturally aspirated, true American power V8. It's proven power, I'm sorry. What is not proven power is that guy. No, I'm kidding, that's proven power too, but a little different. Actually, if I combine EPA from both of those, we're good. Some of you said that the GMC Sierra is a 2015 GMC Sierra half ton. Some of you said that the camper we have, which is 4,500 pounds, max loaded weight is 6,000 pounds. Some of you had said that that still might be too much weight for a half ton truck. You're right. You're all right. So what happened was we went on our very first road trip with our camper and that truck from our home to Corpus Christi, which was like 1,600 miles straight there. Then we went from Corpus Christi over to Big Bend, and on our way to Big Bend, the transmission started slipping in first, second, and third gear. And it just you're not gonna recover from slipping transmission. So we dropped the camper, had to find a tranny shop to rebuild it. 3 days ago, we dropped my truck off to get the transmission torn apart and rebuilt. It's still not done yet. I'm driving there. We have to take the rental car back. Everybody's still at the campground, which is 3 hours away from where the truck is getting rebuilt at. So I'm driving there in hopes that me sitting there will encourage the finishing of it. I gotta drop the rental van off, and then I have to walk to the transmission shop, which I want to say is like 20 blocks or something. It's pretty far, and it's kind of in a sketchy part of town. These roads are flooded. Oh my goodness. I got 1.6 miles to walk in the pouring rain. The thing I'm realizing about Texas is you guys don't have any drainage in your roads, so they're all flooding. So needless to say, I have wet socks right now because these roads, these intersections, are all flooded. Look at this guy. That one wasn't bad at all. Some of them are like, you're gonna lose a car in it. Look at this road. This is, how am I gonna get across this? This Challenger over here just died. It ran through the water, now it won't move. So the plan that I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and go in this building over here, take the Skyway over, come back down, and then come back out. But this guy, yeah, I think he wrecked something. Cause she don't sound good. Look at this guy. Found a little rust-free gem right here. All right, here's my next impassable road that I can't get across. It's flooded the whole way down. And there's no business I can take the Skyway to get across it. So I'm gonna try and come down here and see if I can find a way to get across and then keep trucking over. All right, well, I walked down as far as I could and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. I think I'm just gonna have to suck it up and walk straight through all this and have wet shoes and socks and pants. If I could just jump on somebody's bumper and just ride across the road, yeah, I'm just gonna have to suck it up and just walk across this thing. That's a bummer. Wet socks and shoes are the worst. Now I got wet socks, shoes, and pants. And from then and there, I had decided, you know what? Once she's rebuilt, she's gone. Because I don't hang on to trucks very long. This one, she's probably gonna be gone. All right, guys, so here's my new truck. Comment down below what you think of it. 2011, so it's older, right? So what I did was I ended up trading truck for truck. This didn't cost me any more than the truck we had already owned. So we traded truck to truck. Mileage is the same. It's just a few years older, but it's a 3/4 ton. It's a Lariat. I don't leave my truck stock. Never have, never will. So what I'm gonna do to this truck, first things off, I'm gonna black out the front windows. I'll probably eventually do rims and tires. That's more of a pricey thing, so I delay those as long as possible. I have already located some big ranch hand brush guards because when we were down in Texas, I fell in love with those brush guards. They are extremely beefy. I could run into anything I want. It's not gonna wreck my truck, so I'm probably gonna do that. Beyond that, I might put a leveling kit in it. That tip, that chrome tip right there, that's going away. It's just a clamp on, so somebody put an aftermarket muffler on this truck, so it's a touch louder than factory, which I'm okay with, but I'm not okay with that ugly chrome tip, so I'm gonna cut that thing off and put a black tip on it. Beyond that, oh, Dawn's been harping on me about this already. These are like navy. I don't know if you can tell. They're like navy. I'm not sure why. They should be black, shouldn't they? But anyway, we're probably just gonna rip those off, get rid of them all together. So this is another thing that I do that I failed to mention earlier. So this is a Lariat, which is Ford's. I mean, it's not their top model. They have the King Ranch and other stuff, but it's a more fancy truck. And so the other thing that I've always done is we buy used. I buy older trucks or vehicles in general, but we buy top of the line. Like we buy the most fully loaded package, because then even though it's an older vehicle, it feels newer longer. It's kind of my logic behind it. It feels nicer. I also am realizing that there's a Prius right here, which those are about as base as they come. It's my new ride. It's our new towing vehicle, our new camper puller. We got a car trailer down from Texas too, so it's gonna be able to pull that. I actually have a bunch of hay bales that I gotta get rid of in the next few days, so I'm gonna have to load those up and get rid of those. This will be doing that. So we got that pickup for my father-in-law, which is a 2012 F250, same exact driveline as this truck. That truck, the front end is smashed on. I've been scrounging for parts on that truck, trying to find pieces to rebuild the front end. I just about have everything for it, so we're gonna rebuild that thing and show you how it turned out. Comment down below what you think of the 6.2 gas F250. If there's anything you would do differently. Thanks for watching.